So I bought this waffle line quite some time ago, and I thought it was a bit of a dud because I couldn't get that typical good crispness, as you see here, on both sides of the waffle. And at that time my wife said, "You're probably not putting enough batter in." And me being a little bit hard-headed, I didn't believe her. Anyway, fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, I thought I'd give it another try. And this time, I put a whole bunch of batter in there. Turns out, that's what I had to do. The moral of the story, listen to your wife, and this is a few filled waffle recipes for you. Too savory and too sweet. Little something in there for everybody. Classic breakfast, bacon, egg and cheddar. Can't go wrong with that, unless you smother it in chocolate sauce, of course. Spinach, feta and sun-dried tomato. Also classic flavours that go together. Let's see how they turn out in a waffle. Caramelised banana and chocolate. Also flavours that just work. And strawberries and cream. Also, flavours that just go together. Okay, we're going to start by macerating some strawberries, which just means we're going to cut off the tops and any green bits there. Then we're just going to chop them down into big-ish cubes. So we're pretty much just going to put them all in a bowl, and we're going to put a little bit of sugar over it, and then we're going to let it sit. And this is going to help draw out some of the moisture, so we get a soggy waffle, and it's going to make them nice and sweet, which is going to be perfect for the waffle. Now, if you're going to do this and let it sit overnight, you know, have a little prep ahead action going on, my advice is don't use as much sugar and don't cut them down as small, because they probably turn into mush, and you actually want to have little cubes of strawberries left over. So I'm just going to finish cutting the rest of these up, and then we'll come back. So now I'm going to add some sugar straight over the top. I'll just start with a tablespoon, and I'm just going to mix them all around, make sure the strawberries covered. And now, all we need to do is cover this up, let it sit for a few hours, until we're ready to use it. Right, the next thing we're going to get ready is some bacon. Now I'm going to do this in the oven, because it makes it super simple. You just line a baking tray with some parchment paper, lay out your bacon, then shove it into a preheated oven. Can't be more simple. Instead of having it on a frying pan, fat splattering all over the place, no one wants that. So now I'm going to stick this in to a 200 degrees Celsius preheated oven. Should take around 20 minutes, and then we'll pull it out when it's nice and crispy. And after 20 minutes, our bacon's ready. So we're going to set it aside and let it cool down before we use it. So we're going to get on with making the batter. But before we do, we're going to talk baking powder. So in Austria, they have something that's called Weizenmehl Backpulver, which essentially translates to baking powder, which is the backpulver, and Weizenstein is cream of tartar. They mix the two together, because I've come to realize that when I've used baking powder in the past and it's straight baking powder, it kind of gives off a weird taste. But if you mix some cream of tartar in with your baking powder, it makes it a hell of a lot better. So cream of tartar is a byproduct of winemaking. Wherever you live in the world, if you can't buy it mixed, I'm pretty sure you can look up on AI or anywhere on the internet and you can just make this up yourself. But because I live in Austria and this is the one that they mainly use here, that's what I'm going to be using. So to make the batter, we're going to mix all the dry ingredients together first, and then we'll sort the wet ingredients out. So I'm going straight in to the bowl with some all-purpose flour. Also into my dry ingredients, I'm going to be adding some cornstarch. It's going to give your waffle a nice crisp outer shell. Okay, then we're going to be adding in some light brown sugar, and we want to add a little bit of salt. And the last ingredient in the dries goes your cream of tartar baking powder. And we just give this a little whisk together. Get all those dries incorporated. In a separate bowl, we're going to get our wet ingredients together. We're just going to start off cracking some eggs in there. You could use regular milk, but I like that extra twang that the buttermilk brings. Right, final wet ingredient is going to be some water. I like to add the mixture of milk and water because the water is going to make also, like the cornstarch, it's going to give you a nice crisp waffle. So now we're just going to mix those all together till it's all combined. I almost forgot. We're also going to add some melted butter to this. Now I melted this butter over a low heat till it was just melted, and then I took it off. You don't want to hard melt this thing. So I'm going to pour that in, and then we'll also get that whisked in. Now what we're going to do is tip the wet into the dry. Now the reason why we mixed all the wet and dry ingredients separately to start with is so now when we mix this together, we mix it till it's just combined, so we don't overmix the batter, because then you're going to get some tough waffles, and nobody wants that. You don't want to mix it too vigorously, so if you've got a few little lumps in there, that's still completely fine. But after you finish mixing it, you want to set it aside and let it rest for at least 20 to 30 minutes. A bit longer is also okay. I highly recommend, as soon as you can, wash your whisk off with all this batter, because if you let it sit and it dries on, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to wash. But if you do it straight away, you just have to run it under the tap, and it just washes straight off. Okay, now we're going to cook up some scrambled eggs. Now I like to put a little bit of oil in and a little bit of butter in the pan, preheated, to make my scrambled eggs. And then, simply enough, I've already whisked my eggs together. That's just egg and a little bit of salt. In it goes. And we're just gonna, simple enough, scramble these eggs. Shouldn't take too long. Now we don't want to over scramble them, we want to cook them till they're just set. Even a little bit under is okay, because they'll finish cooking inside the waffle once we fill it. As you can see, they're still a little bit underdone. We want to remove them from the pan here, and then they'll finish cooking once we set them aside. Next thing we're gonna get ready is some caramelized banana. This is gonna go on the inside of the waffle, so I want to cut this in half. And then, easy enough, we're gonna slice it into little logs, or planks, however you look at it. Okay, now simple enough, we're gonna put them in a non-stick pan and cook them till they're nicely caramelized. Alright, once you've got some good color on them, you gotta set them aside till you're ready to use it. Alright, next thing we're gonna do is chop up the bacon into little bits, because you don't want a whole piece of bacon in your waffle, because when you take a bite, the whole thing might come out. And you don't want that, so we're gonna cut it up into little bits. Now my ingredients for the bacon and egg are ready to go. Okay, now we get the ingredients for the other savory waffle together. This is just some spinach, some frozen spinach that I had kicking around in the freezer, that I've thawed out, and then squeezed living bejeebers out of it to get as much water out of this as I can. Alternatively, you could just wilt down some of your own spinach. Just make sure that you try and get as much water out as you can. That's the key here. Okay, and I've got a little bit of feta. I'm just gonna crumble straight in there with the spinach. Then also to this one, we're gonna cut up some sun-dried tomatoes, and we'll mix that in there as well. Once you got it in the bowl, just give it all a good mix together. Also, it's optional, but I think it's gonna go quite well. A little bit of fresh cracked pepper. All right, then just give it a little taste for seasoning. And once you got the seasoning where you want it, then the filling for the spinach and feta is ready to go. Okay, so I got my caramelized banana. Also, I got some hazelnut here that's finely chopped up, and I'm using this hazelnut spread. The ingredients for the banana and hazelnut chocolate, it's ready to go. Okay, so my strawberries have been sitting for a while. As you can see, drawing out some liquid, which is a good thing. Also, I'm going to be putting some mascarpone on top of the strawberry one. So, the strawberry and mascarpone is ready to go. It goes without saying, you're going to need a waffle line to make this recipe. Not just any waffle line either, it needs to be one that's deep enough where you can actually put a filling in. Now, I'm sure you can get these online. I actually bought this one at the local supermarket, but just have a quick look on Amazon somewhere. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to pick one up yourself. Now all we need to do is let it preheat, and then we can get on to cooking some waffles. Okay, so the waffle iron's preheated. We're just gonna lift it up, give it a little bit of spray oil. Okay, then we're gonna spoon in about 60% of the batter we're gonna put in here, which in my case was 2 ladlefuls. Now we're just gonna close this down, and we're gonna let that cook for about 30 seconds. So when we put the filling on, it doesn't sink straight to the bottom. You actually want to let it go for about a minute, not 30 seconds. All right, now we're going to put the filling in, and you want to spread it around so you got even filling all the way around. Now you want to pour some more batter over the top, so it's all covered in there. All right, once you got it all filled up, you want to close it down and let it cook. All right, when your waffle's finished cooking, you want to get it out of your waffle iron and put it on a wire rack to stop it sogging up, and you want to put it in a low oven to keep it warm while you cook the rest. Okay, for the bacon and egg, same deal as before. A little bit of spray oil, we'll put in some batter, then we just close this down and give it a minute before we put the fillings in. Okay, and after about a minute, it's time to add in the fillings. So we've got some of that chopped up bacon. Make sure you spread it all out right to the edges, and some of the egg. And then a late addition to this one, a little bit of cheddar cheese that I've freshly grated. Then we top it off with the batter. Then we close down the lid and let it cook. All right, also, with this waffle iron, you have to flip it around so you get good color on both sides. Then the same as the first one, once it's ready, you want to remove it. You burn your hands in the process because it's hot. You want to remove it to a rack and also stick it in the low preheated oven. Okay, so before we start on with the sweet waffles, we're going to put a little bit of vanilla into the batter. So I have already these vanilla seeds that are already in a little container. So I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of that in, and then we'll whisk it in, and then we'll get on to cooking the sweet ones. And now with the sweet ones, same as before, a little bit of spray oil, pour some of the batter in, then close it down, let it cook for around a minute. Alright, then you want to lay in some of your banana. Then we're going to sprinkle over some of the hazelnuts, cover it with more batter, and then close it down and let it cook. Alright, once it's ready, you also want to remove it to your rack and stick it in the oven. Alright, now we do the same for the last waffle as we did for the previous 3. A little bit of oil, some of your batter, let it sit for a minute, and then we put in some strawberries, then cover it in the batter, close it up, and let it cook. So once it's finished cooking, you want to remove it to the rack. So if you recreate these recipes, and you do multiple different flavors like I did, make sure you remember which one's which. Because I thought this was banana. Turns out, bacon and egg. And I covered it in chocolate sauce. I'm still gonna eat it though. Bacon, egg and cheese with chocolate sauce. Let's see how it goes. If I didn't screw up and put chocolate sauce all over the top of this, this would actually be pretty damn good. Even with that little bit of chocolate sauce on there, the bacon, egg and cheese is still the dominant flavour in there. And that is pretty damn delicious. Right, let's try this. Spinach, feta and sun-dried tomato. If you've ever been to an English afternoon tea and you've had a spinach scone before, this is like a much better version of that. Instead of being all dry and nasty like a scone usually is, this is actually pretty damn good. Nice and moist, perfectly seasoned. I think that might top the bacon and egg. Now the one the chocolate sauce is meant to be on. The caramelized banana and the hazelnut chocolate. So with this one, if I was to do it again, I would put more chocolate spread inside. Because as it is, in its current form, it's pretty reminiscent of banana bread. So if you like banana bread, this will be right up your alley. And last but certainly not least, strawberries and cream. So while this one does cure that sweetness, if I was to make this one again, I think I would cut the strawberries up a little bit more and try and dry them off a little bit more, because as it is, I think they leached a little bit too much liquid out and made it a little bit doughy still in the middle. But you add a little bit more mascarpone on there, I'm still gonna eat the lot. So I think I found a way to salvage the bacon and egg. Thinly slice the top off, tomato and avocado. There's a little extra topping on there. I think we found my favourite.